Peace, love, and light, guys. What's going on? It's your girl, Crystal Dior, coming your way. You already know, the BlackVegan Raw. So we are vlogging in the car today, okay? I am on the go per usual. I have been trying to make this vlog for a minute now, but you know my life. So, you know, I'm always on the go, always busy. So we gotta do this in the car. Yeah, so I was compelled to do a vlog about living in Pennsylvania, particularly Pittsburgh or Philly, since those are the two places that I've lived in my existence. Okay, so born and raised in Philadelphia, PA, and I lived in Pittsburgh, PA for 4 years. So this vlog is going to basically give you the pros and the cons of living in Philly and the pros and the cons of living in Pittsburgh, and which one was better, at least in my opinion. It's going to be a part 2. So this is part 1, the Philly series. So if you want to tune in. But if you want to wait for the Pittsburgh one, that'll be the next vlog. So Philly. Pros and the cons of living in Philadelphia. Now, I live in Northeast currently, but I am from North Philly. So North Philly is so big that it's small, number one, okay? I know mostly all the areas of Philly except for South Philly. I don't know South Philly. I know South Street, that's a part of South Philly, but like the ins and outs of South Philly, I would get lost. In my city, I would get lost. But I know Northeast, I know North Philly, I know West Philly, I know Southwest, and then within Philly is all different types of little towns, like Uptown, which is Germantown, which is like North Philly kinda, you know, like, so it's really weird. So you got people that be like, yo, I'm from Uptown, yo, I'm from North, I'm from South, yo, I'm from West, like, you know. Philly and its many dialects and slangs, and Philly got its own language, real talk. Like, I be saying some things, yo, and only another Philadelphian will understand what I'm saying, okay? Like, I'll be talking to somebody that's not from Philly, and they'll just be like, oh, what you saying, Crystal? Like, what you mean? I'm like, oh, my bad. This is what I meant. You know, and our word is John. John. John is for everything, real talk. But, all right, let's get to the vlog. So, some pros about living in Philly, right? So, some good things that I like about living in Philly is that it's a real big, diverse city. So, Philly has so many different cultures here. It has so many different cultures. And not only do it have so many different cultures, it celebrates different cultures. Like, I randomly ran into them doing, I was going to one of the museums down, art museum. It was the Barnes Museum that I was going to, and they was doing a Israel parade. So they were celebrating Israel's freedom, I believe. So they was doing an Israel parade. They blocked it off. Penn's Landing always have free multicultural events, especially during the summer. Like, they have the Caribbean Festival, the African Festival, the Latino Festival, okay, the Indian Festival. So Philly is very diverse and very cultural. Like, they always have a lot of different things going on, and they celebrate different cultures as well. So that's one of the things that I really loved and appreciate about Philly. Philly also have like a lot of free events that you can go to, so especially in the summer and the spring. So if you've never been to Philly and you want to check out what Philly has to offer, I always recommend that you come during the summer or the springtime to Philadelphia, because that is the best time, in my opinion, to come. You get to go, you get to see a lot of different events. You can go to free events. and have a great time. You don't have to spend no money. You could go to free concerts and have a great time. Philly put on for its city, especially like down Penn's Landing area. There's a lot of great food places that you could try, and you know, you got your bag, but there's a lot of great food places that you could try to go to. You can, if you're a vegan as well, as vegan friendly, they have a lot of vegan places that's nearby, close by, and also they do have a few raw vegan restaurants too. So that's another plus that I love about my city, that they have, you know, different options for different types of vegans, you know, raw all day head. And also Philly has a lot of history, so it's like kind of a big tourist attraction, especially downtown where like Independence Hall is, the convention center. Like Philly has a lot of history behind the city, you know what I'm saying? So it's a big tourist attraction. A lot of people from out of state come here all the time, especially downtown. That's when it can be really crowded. Yeah, crowds could be a good or a bad thing. It just depends. Since they always have a lot of things going on in the city, sometimes roadways be blocked, and that could be a pain, especially if you're not from the city. You have to try to find a different way to maneuver. But because it's a big city, you usually could find a decent job in Philly if you look for a job. Anytime you move though, I always say to just have a job lined up though. That would be better for you, to make sure you have a job lined up. But you can find a job. It's a big city, and you can meet people easily, especially with a lot of these free events. If you're a little bit outgoing and you do talk to people, you should have no problem meeting someone. Like, you can meet people easily. And for the most part, people can be nice and people can be rude. That's like a draw. Like, you have people that's really, really nice, and then you have people that's really, really rude, okay? And that's a mouthful about Philly, I would say. Like, that's a lot of the pros. So Philly got a lot of pros. I would say some of the cons is that Philly is an expensive city to live in. It's very high as far as the cost of living. Like, the cost of living in Philly is crazy. Like, when I tell you, like, to rent an apartment, it should the medium rent will probably be like around $750 to $800 if you want to rent an apartment in like an okay area. If you see apartments that's like $500-600, run. Don't even click on the link, because more than likely it's in like a really bad druggy neighborhood. And when I say bad druggy, I mean like people that's cracked out, that's like drugged out on like wet and all that. Like, they be really messed up. They will literally light your house on fire. Like, that type of, they will rob you in front of your face. Like, that type of that type of area. And I'm not even saying that to scare you. I'm just letting you know what's really real. Like certain areas, you know, you got your good areas and you got your bad areas, and you just gotta really be cautious as far as what areas you choose to live in. Cheap isn't always good, so just make sure you do your research first, and if you're able to visit, come visit. I will also say another bad thing is it can be the driving, because people literally drive how they want to drive here. Like, you have to make sure you watch the road, because it's a high accident prone city. Like, people always get into accidents because they drive how they want to drive. You could be the best driver ever, you still have to make sure you watch the road, okay? Also, the crime is rising. That's another thing. The crime is rising in Philly. You know, I have been blessed not to see any crime myself, as far as like, you know, any like murders or anything like that, but I hear about them every single day, especially on, like, I follow No Gun Zone on Instagram, and that's basically like crime for Philly. And you know, it's so crazy because so many people just get killed every day, every single day. You hear, it's so sad. It's so sad, you know. And that's actually one of the reasons why I kind of want to relocate. Like, for the most part, in my opinion, Philly don't really have a lot of cons per se, except for the ones that I personally said. You know, people can be a con or a plus, you know, a pro or a con. It just depends who you run into. Vibes attract vibes, you know. But as far as one of the reasons why I want to get out of Philly and relocate is because of the crime. Like, I haven't seen it myself. I have been blessed not to be a part of that. But at the end of the day, that is still, like, it's still real. It's really real too. Like, crime is like on the rise. It's on the rise. But yeah, like, crime is on the rise, and I ain't got time. I don't got time. And the way they be attacking, like, officers and stuff, it's just that much realer. So they don't have no problem with them guns, let me say that, okay? But anyway, I want to relocate. I love my city, and I think it is very great, especially if you live in a nice neighborhood. You can take advantage of all Philly has to offer. It is very beautiful, real talk. Like, but I believe it's my time to go and venture off to another city, okay? If anybody have any recommendations, I love big cities that's very diverse. I was thinking about Miami, but I kept reading bad things about it, so I don't think that's going to be the move. But please comment below and share what you think. Like, vegan friendly, diverse, multicultural, that's what I'm looking for. Alright guys, so I'm cutting part 1. Tune in for part 2 about the pros and cons of Pittsburgh, and in part 2 I'll also wrap up which city I like living in better. And yeah, so stay tuned for part 2, guys. It's your girl Crystal Dior. Peace, love, and power.